100.
Alright, so yesterday we did dilations. We used the scale factor to find the new shape. Today we're going backwards. We're given both the pre-image and the image, and we have to find the scale factor regularly.
Is this easier or harder than yesterday? Easy.
Equal-ish. Alright. So let's start with our pre-image. How can we tell which one's our pre-image?
The one without a prime.
The one without the prime mark. So just regular A, regular B, regular C. Find those coordinates. A, B, and C. What is A's coordinate?
0, 3.
3. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the zeros are tricky. 0, 3. What is B's coordinate?
3, 3.
And C.
6, 0.
Do the same thing for A prime, B prime, and C prime. What is A prime?
0, 2.
C prime.
2, 2.
Oh, I'm sorry. B prime.
2, 2.
2, 2. C prime.
4, 0.
My bad, yes. Alright, so we did one like this yesterday where it asked you what the scale factor was, but it was really easy to tell by looking. This one's kind of hard. So you're trying to figure out, because scale factor means multiply. You're trying to figure out what you multiply 3 by to get to 2.
That's what I was like.
Right?
Is that even possible?
Yeah, it's possible. But it's difficult to tell just by looking. So to find your scale factor,
We were subtracting them.
you do, yeah, we're not subtracting them, that's a translation. Right, scale factor is multiplying. So to find your scale factor, it is new divided by old. Your prime divided by your original. The only thing we can't do is zeros, because we can't divide by 0. Okay, so we want to avoid anything with a 0. So which point do you want to use?
3, 3, and 2, 2. Oh.
It doesn't matter, right? Because some of these have a 0, and that's fine. As long as it's not 0, 0, we can probably use it. So A, B, C. Which one do we use?
C, B.
Or C first. So of C, I can't use the 0, so I have to use the x's. So we'll do C prime divided by C. So what's the x value for my C prime?
1.5.
What's the x value for my C prime? 4. Divided by, what's the x value for my C? What is 4 divided by 6?
2/3.
You get that 0.666. It's okay to use a decimal if the decimal terminates, but this one doesn't. So we need to use the fraction.
Whoa.
What if I chose a different point? Do you think I would get a different scale factor?
Yes.
No. Let's try it. So let's use A and A prime, because that's what this says over here, right? A prime divided by A. So if I use the y value on A prime, 2, what's the y value on A?
3.
Well, isn't that the same thing?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter which point you do, you just can't use zeros. Alright, zeros just won't work right. They have way different properties than the rest of the numbers do.
Can you do X and Y?
No. If you do one X, you have to do the other X. If you do one Y, you have to do the other Y.
So you can't do both and then times both on the bottom?
If you do both, it will come up with the same thing. Like 2 divided by 3 is the same as 2 divided by 3. It will reduce, just like slope, it will reduce to the same number. So if my scale factor is 2/3, how can I write my rule? 2/3 times X, 2/3 times Y. So what's hard about this? What's the one thing we have to remember?
To find the scale factor.
Nope. What can't we use? No zeros. Alright, so start by finding your pre-image coordinates. The ones without the primes. A, B, C, D. What is A's coordinate?
-4, -2.
B's coordinate?
2, -1.
2 negative 2.
Yeah.
C's coordinate?
2, 2.
D's coordinate?
-4, 2.
Alright, do the same thing for your image. A prime, B prime, C prime, B prime. What is A prime?
6, -3.
B prime?
3, -2.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Do what? 3, -3?
Yeah.
C prime?
3.
D prime?
-6.
Let's find our scale factor. We don't need all those points. Let's pick one. Which one do y'all want? A? Okay. Do y'all want to use the X or the Y? Y. So we've got that Y value and that Y value. A prime divided by A. What's the A prime's value?
-3.
And the A's value?
-2.
So what is -3 divided by -2?
3.5.
1.5. That decimal terminates, so we can use it. But if you want to use the fraction, what's the fraction? 0/2. Does it matter?
No.
As long as that decimal terminates. So go ahead and write your rule. What's one way I can write the rule? What's another way you could write the rule?
1.5 x 1.5 y.
If we chose a different point, would we get a different answer?
No.
No. So if it doesn't matter which point we choose, why are we writing them all down?
Just in case on the test it writes it differently.
So you want to keep writing them all down?
No.
Okay, what are we supposed to avoid?
Zeros.
Zeros. Okay, so if we're going to try to shorten this by just writing down one point, we have to figure out where, so if we can't use a zero, where do we wind up with a zero on our coordinate? On the x or the y axis. So we want to make sure when we're picking our point that we avoid an axis. We don't want the x, we don't want the y, we certainly don't want the origin. So which point should we avoid here?
B.
B, right? Because we know it's got a zero and we know zeros don't quite work the way we want them to. So we all want to use A or C, it doesn't matter. A? Alright, so figure out what is A's coordinate. And A prime's coordinate. So what is A's coordinate? What? 4, 4. What is A prime's coordinate?
2, 2.
Is this an enlargement or a reduction? So our scale factor should be less than 1. Go ahead and find your scale factor. Did you use the x or the y?
I use C, but I use the X's.
Okay. We should still go with the same answer no matter what we choose. So on mine, not on C's, but on mine, how do I set it up?
We do 2 divided by 4.
Which is what?
0.5.
0.5. What else could I say? Alright, 0.5 terminates, so we can use it. Zach, you see, and you got the same scale factor. Is that good? So good. Write your rule. Scale factor is 1/2. What's my rule? What's one way I can write it?
2x.
1/2 times x.
1/3.
1/2
Two.
times y. What's another way I could write it?
0.5 times.
5 times x. 0.5 times y. Top left. Get as far as you can get. Top left. We just did top left. Top right. Directions are hard. Point you'll choose.
-1.
C? C is positive, positive. I'm pretty good with positive. If you chose a different point than C, you should still get the right answer. So if I chose C, what is C's coordinate?
2,
2, 2. Thank you. What is C prime's coordinate?
4, 4.
So is that an enlargement or a reduction? Our scale factor should be bigger than 1. How do I find my scale factor?
Prime.
Prime divided by original. So what divided by what?
4/2.
Which is... If you got 1/2, you did your original over your prime. So it's prime over original.
I got -2.
You had a sign error.
Cause I was doing A and
So A is -1, -1. A prime is -2, -2. Either way, you have a negative divided by a negative, which is positive.
that's why.
That's why I said avoid those negatives. Just move this. You won't have a negative scale factor until you get to high school, because a negative scale factor means you've also reflected it. So what's my rule?
2 times x, 2 times y.
2 times x, 2 times y. Bottom left, get as far as you can. But if you use x on one, you use x on the other. point should I use?
Would be
A.
I use A.
I use A, just because it's positive, positive. If you chose B, you should still get the same answer. What is A's point?
4, 2.
What is A prime?
2, 1.
So how do I find my scale factor?
2 divided by 4.
Prime is like
Prime divided by original. So you did the x's, I take it. 2 divided by 4 is 0.5. What else can we say it is? So then, what's one way I can write the rule? Okay, what's another way I can write the rule?
2.
That's what's fine. Last one. Alright, last one. Which point?
B.
I didn't.
I use B. What is B's coordinate? And B prime's coordinate?
2, 2.
Enlargement or reduction?
Enlargement.
Enlargement. Okay, so how do I set it up?
B prime over B.
You want me to use the X or the Y? Does it matter?
Doesn't matter.
Same, right? So whatever what?
2 over 1.
Which is,
2.
which makes my rule
2 X 2 1.
easy-ish.
That was a really good
Alright, do this one. And let's update our table of contents.
How many questions are on the paper?
I don't remember. 10.
Oh, yeah, I didn't finish that one thing. I got to the handle.
That's fine. You have time to do it.
Wait, do we have to do this again?
Yes.